Greetings. Greetings to you all, you bright, blessed beings there on that earth plane. Welcome to your session once again. We are the Council of Light, and we welcome you to this space, and we hold you in it ever so tight. We, the divine group of light and love, is here to see all of you and to say words of counsel for you on this day. We are thrilled that so many of you are here to participate in your listening, for you have a soul knowing of your authenticity and of your super soul selves. And it is why you are drawn to work such as this with groups such as us. We are but one of many groups that are from the universal loving light that comes to speak to humans day and night. We come through this woman here and her voice box clear, and we enjoy doing so, but you know of others and you know of other groups, and it is okay for you to listen to all the spiritual and sacred and sound filling your ears and your hearts and your minds as you go through your days. We never expect you to only listen to just us and to only prescribe the remedies that we talk about in these messages with blinders on. For we see that you humans are wonderfully diverse. And you are incredibly great at finding your centeredness and your calmness and your peace and your zen in different ways. Some of you practice body movement. Some of you practice mind stillness. Some of you practice eating with consciousness, and all of it is beautiful and wonderful and beneficial. Your earth is such a vibrant place to be incarnated. Your earth is such a really fantastic space to feel and see and sense and know. You feel and see and sense and know when you are in your spirit forms, in your lifetimes between your physical times there on that earth plane. But when you are there, it is different because it is tangible in an extreme way. There are colors and sounds and textures and sensations, physical and emotional, that are different for you there than when you are in your spirit space. When you are in your spirit space, things are more etheric, things are more watery or dreamlike, if you want to try and quantify it. Things have no boundary. There is no box. There are no walls. There is no rubric of time moving you forward. It is always just open, and it is always just the now. So when you are there on the earth plane and you are experiencing lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, you are able to grow, you are able to learn, you are able to move forward with mental capacity, with skill set capacity, with emotional capacity. You go from being tiny babes to very grand, wise, old elders in your communities. And you run the gamut of everything in between with lessons that you learn or sometimes that you choose not to learn. And those lessons that you choose not to learn, you repeat in the next lifetime so that you may begin to, sorry, everyone. I had a little thing on my computer there. That's Laura interrupting, sorry. Okay, coming back now. So that you can begin to practice whatever it is that you need to be learning in those lifetimes. It's okay if you don't learn what you need to learn now, but it reaps benefit if you do. And it's okay if you practice now and are on the fast track now and move forward now and ace everything with gold stars now and then have nothing left to do. We say that jokingly because, of course, there is always more to do. There's always lessons that can be learned. There's always mastery to be attained. There's always an expansion and a depth and a breadth of work and knowledge and a body of richness when you think you've mastered something, to go back and look again and again and again. There is a concept that some of you have on that earth plane called beginner's mind. And it is lovely to be 95 years old, or to have practiced something as a craft for 10 years, or to be the expert known in your field and cultivate the beginner's mind about what it is that you have so masterfully and beautifully worked with for the decade or the eon or the lifetime. It is a wonderful gift to give yourself beginner's mind over and over and over again, especially when you are 95 and you are looking at another robust 7 or 8 or 9 years of life, and you are lonely because people around you are transitioning into spirit. Beginner's mind is a wonderful place for you to stimulate the senses of the mind and the ego and the heart. But we digress, because not very many of you listening to our words here today are in that category. What we actually want to speak about with you today is something that is very prevalent on the earth plane right now. And we sense it, we see it, we feel it, and we hear it coming from your energy pulsations. For you do emit an energy pulsation. It is a vibratory frequency that casts off of you like a glow or a hum or a light. Think of it sort of like an electrical pulse, if you will. And it is vibrating in a collective consciousness style. So we are about to talk about something with you that many of you now here in this particular capacity are not feeling on a day-to-day basis, or even in this moment right now. But we are globally tuned into the earth, and we are aware of all of you as a unit of consciousness. And there is an understanding that is being emitted as a frequency from that globe as a whole of weariness, tiredness, and exhaustion. You have all been through a tremendous squeeze in the last 18 months or so, and you thought you were coming out of that squeeze, when really what's happening is it is squeezing in on you again. We want to be here for you during this second or third, or sometimes for some of you, fourth squeeze. We know that there is a lot of mental exhaustion, and there is a lot of emotional exhaustion, and there's sort of an autopilot that is being experienced by many of you as you are going through your day-to-day lives. But it will be okay. You will come out clean on the other side. This we promise, because this we know. For you see, you are not the only sentient beings with a consciousness of space that you call a planet that we are in contact with. We span vast arrays of consciousnesses, and we are in tune, and we keep tabs on, and we check in with multiple facets of consciousness communities. Earth with humanity is just one. And in those other consciousness realities, with those other communities that we have checked upon, we will tell you that they too have been through similar experiences of strife in their collective consciousness. Perhaps it is not all body and germ related, as you all are experiencing and coming through and navigating as a global Earth community. It could be other consciousness experience of strife in their communities, but they have all evolved. They have all moved through the chaos, and they have all participated in pushing forward into a space of harmony and peace and positivity. For that is something that is true of all things that are sentient, in any capacity, anywhere. You are always in a motion, moving forward, growing, harmonizing, aligning, purifying, and balancing at all times. It might not feel that way for you sometimes when you experience strife, stress, anger, depression, sadness, but those things are speed bumps along your path as you are always moving forward. Nobody in their human form at 99 years old, getting ready to transition back into their spirit body, has said, I didn't live up to my full potential in any aspect of my life. Every single human being across all of time has always had something, at least one thing, that they have said was a champion for themselves in their life that moved them forward in some positive way. Sure, there have been aspects of lives that people regret not participating in fully as they get ready to spiritually move back into their soul form. But everyone has had something that they have moved forward in positivity and growth in some fashion. And so you too will look back when you are an elder, and you too will find at least one thing that you have championed, that you have been proud of, that you have moved forward with and grown the skill set or the body of content knowledge of, and you will have peace with that. Now, we are talking to a very refined, highly evolved, consciously beautiful group of soul beings, i.e. you. Those of you who listen to our messages of wisdom and kindness and grace will understand that you are already tuned in. You understand there are many facets of your spiritual soul self that you know to be true now. Some of you are in daily connection with your soul self on a regular basis. Some of you are experiencing these words in a relatively new fashion, and yet there is an inkling of a knowing. There is a, yeah, that sounds familiar. What is being spoken out loud and I am receiving feels true to me, even if it is new content for me feeling. This is why we love to come and speak with you all in this way. We love that you are awake to your potential and your greatness and your grandeur and your wonderment and your spiritual sacredness. We love that you have your abilities to center and balance and calm. We love that you have the awareness of kindness and compassion and love for both others and self. There are many, many human beings in full consciousness that don't, and we don't reach their ears, and that's okay. We come to speak to you in this way because we understand that you are a listening audience. It doesn't matter, by the way, if we ever speak and you hear us, for we are here as guides to help humanity move forward on your evolutionary continuum towards your own enlightenments. And if you choose to listen in this lifetime, wonderful. If you choose to ignore and do other things in this lifetime, so be it. Our task as the Council of Light, our role in bringing the messages and the grace and the wisdom forward for you will never change. We are a group of about 200 strong. Some of us have been here consistently from day one, many, 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 many lifetimes before this woman in her physical form ever brought us through her voice box to humanity. We will also come through to humanity after she has expired her physical body and her voice box no longer carries our wisdom forward. We will utilize other voice boxes in future lifetimes, perhaps hers again if she decides to do this work. That remains to be seen. But our point here is that our job has always been to be watchers, to be counselors, to be champions of your earthly dilemmas and problems and joys and sorrows and concerns as you muck around in those beautiful things that you call your lifetimes. Now, within this roughly 200 or so group of souls of us, some of us come out and do other work in other capacities and other places, and some of us come in and move through and stay a little while some of us have remained tried and true the whole time. It is much like your workforce, no? Some of you are employed in careers where you can make a go of it for 50 years doing the same thing, and it is beautiful and wonderful for you, while others of you flit in, dip your toe, dabble, flit out, try something new, etc. In spirit form, we have different jobs too. We don't come from the same place in spirit that you all come from, for we're different vibrational qualities of frequency. We have never incarnated as humans. We have always been in spirit, and we come from this very pure, very crystalline, very evolved, very neutral space of energetic capacity. You don't. And we don't say that to you in any kind of critique or any kind of negating. We just say that to you because you go through lifetime after lifetime after lifetime with trials and tribulations so that you can learn and grow and move beyond suffering and move beyond sorrow. We don't have that. We are beyond that. We come from a frequency that is so pure, we don't need that. Think of us like your coaches. The ultimate package of coaching. Free for life, always available whenever you wish. How's that for a deal? We see that for many of you, it is time for many deals and buying of gifts. And we say that with tongue-in-cheek fun in our arena of our language today with you. So now that we've given you a little bit of an understanding of the strife that we're sensing on that earth plane, it's like an accordion that has expanded and there was hope. People were feeling like they were moving beyond hurdles. And now it is accordion folding in on yourselves. And it feels for some of you like there is another hurdle and that you're tired and weary. Don't give up your faith. Don't give up your purpose. Don't give up your passion. Right now, as a collective consciousness for humanity, you must just continue to put one foot in front of the other until you reach the finish line. And it is coming. We promise you it is coming. Right now, those of you listening to our words are full of loving kindness and grace. We see you as a collective consciousness of a body of light. While it is true that you are in different physical locations on that earth plane, you actually are connected in one web, one unit of heartstrings, all pulsing in the same vibratory frequency. When you listen to words such as ours, in a format and a capacity such as this, you become dialed in and vibrationally frequencytized to our vibration and to a consistency that is the same as the person digitally to your left and digitally to your right. Some of you listen to our words again after we speak them here, and it is true for you too. You can listen to a recording of our messages and our words, and it has the same significance, the same vibrational meaning, and the same outcome as if you were listening to us in a live format, such as now. How is that true? Because your technology that marks and records and keeps records of people's words holds the same frequency from when it was spoken out, with its intentionality and its nuance and its meaning from the very beginning. The record that gets held with the intensity of the emotion or the purity or the truth or whatever it is that you want to label it as is always marked and always recorded. You understand this to be true as human beings when you listen to beautiful, sacred music. It has been recorded for you, and you feel bliss-filled at the end of a long run of listening to song after song after song, much the same way that you would feel bliss-filled if you were in a live concert hall listening to that musician playing in front of you. When you speak out loud a vocalization, it goes on for eternity. Your thoughts are the same way. They are sound waves that emanate out from your mind center, and they go into the ether forever. It is wise of you to cultivate a practice of loving kindness with words, which many of you already do, and you do that very well. And it is also wise of you to cultivate a practice of thought kindness. You oftentimes have a ticker tape or a stream of consciousness that is negative or fear-based in your humanity that runs through your mind. There are a lot of you that harbor anxieties and obsessions that you think over and over and over, and that goes out into the stream. We feel it, we see it, we hear it all here in the spirit realm. It is like one giant motherboard with millions and billions of televisions and radio stations all turned on at the same time. How do we cut through your chatter as humans? It's simple. We focus on this pure vibration right here, right now. As we are speaking with you in this moment, we are also listening at the same time to the thumb of the pulse of the chatter of the earth. And we are gathering information as a global theme to begin to assuage and solace and counsel you for the next time we are to speak to you. In today's words that we bring to you, we were listening like on a telephone or a wire, receiver, transceiver, to what was happening globally before the now of your time, because it is always the now in our time. But for your time, there is a linear progression of movement forward, as we mentioned before. And so that is why we bring forward this awareness of your consciousness of feeling squeezed in like accordions now. So we have shared with you some interesting facts about where we come from in the universe, and we've shared with you some interesting details about how these lifetimes work and how we are juxtaposed to your humanity. And it is time for us to do some frequency recalibration with you. Over the last several meetings that we have held with you, we have quite thoroughly enjoyed the resetting and the reharmonizing and the rebalancing that we have invited you to practice. So let us all do that together now. Take a nice, deep, gentle breath into your entire being. Fill yourselves with light and with air, and exhale it out around you everywhere in your sphere like a circle. Take another nice, nourishing, deep breath in and hold it in your beingness for 3 seconds. And exhale that light and that air out around you like a bubble that you form and you are inside the middle of. Take one more breath in and hold it for 3 seconds. And exhale it out into your bubble of your arena around you. This is your space. This is your energy frequency. You have expanded it out beyond you, and you can expand it even farther out if you wish. You can have it keep going till it touches all the souls of consciousness on that earth plane. For those of you who are very adept at navigating energy capacities, go ahead and do that. For others of you, sending it out around you where you are now is about as much as you should be able to do for today. We don't want you to overwhelm yourselves and be hit like a Mack truck, as Laura likes to say, with energy capacities as you come in contact with hundreds of others in your neighborhoods, in your apartment buildings, in your cities, in your country, municipalities, wherever it is that you are dwelling now. But know that this bubble that you are in can be cultivated and can be nourished and can be plugged in to our frequency. It's like a vacuum. When you plug it in and you turn it on and you bring in the air and you bring in the light and you expand and you hold the frequency, it nourishes you, it harmonizes you, and it balances you so that you're always vitally fresh. You're always vitally nurtured. You're always vitally supported and buoyed forward in a space of consciousness, in a space of light, in a space of balanced harmony. And that's a wonderful practice from which you can cultivate living your day-to-day lives every moment. When you notice that you're not in that space, it's okay to come back in. Sometimes you can't be in that space if you're doing other things and you're not skilled at remaining in that space and your mind is pulled out and taken into emotional drama, but it's okay. You are always working. You are always progressing. You are always striving to complete the lessons and master the processes. And you have an entire lifetime to do so. So with all of that, we gave you some very technical and very dense information today. We would like to say thank you for being with us in this capacity. And thank you for taking the time to nourish your head and your heart and your intellect and your vibrational frequency. When you do those things in trifecta, you are a complete human. Mind, emotion, energy. It's all symbiotic. And you are aligned now in this moment by being here in this space with us. So with that, we would like to say thank you for listening to our words today. We are the Council of Light, and we will leave you with blessings of great joy. We wrap you in a golden blanket of light until we are to speak with you next time in your linear sense of measuring 1 month from now. And we bring you great blessings of peace. We say namaste, adieu, and goodbye for now.